The Conway Regional Health System pregame show continues now with our weekly roundtable discussion. I'm joined by Levi Gilbert and Tim Roach. They are the voices of the Wampus Cats, and they were in the press box at John McConnell Stadium a week ago for a most impressive victory over a team that's really good and a team that's probably going to be there deep into November. Conway over Bentonville last week in an impressive fashion, Levi.
It was impressive. I mean, it was as dominating as we've seen ever against Bentonville. I mean, usually when we play, in the past, they were dominating us. In the last, 6 or 7 years, it's been really close back and forth type games. So yeah, it was a little strange seeing it. I did not hate it, but it felt a little weird. And I think really when I look at this offense and what they're doing, I mean, averaging almost, I think, a little over 50 points a game, over 500 yards of offense in the first two games. But it's really the ground game. We talked about that last week. It's the ground game that has come along and kind of caught up and been more of a good partner with the passing game. And it's just made everything run so much better. Even with, we're missing two really dynamic wide receivers from a year ago, and that has not mattered at all. I mean, in all the starters we had to replace on offense, it just hasn't played out like we quite thought it was offensively. It's all clicked so much faster, and I really think it's because of that ground game. I was looking at Trey Harris's number through the first two games, and he has almost more yards in the first two games this year than the whole rushing attack from last year's team had through the first two games. So I think that tells you a lot about where this offense is right now.
And I will tell you too that you talked about a dominant performance. One of the things that stood out to me is the imposing nature of our team compared to Bentonville. We've never seen, and at least in my history, a time where you'd walk out on the field and go, the Conway team looks bigger, faster, stronger than Bentonville. And I think we're going to see a lot of that for almost everybody we play. That's because after a year and a half of Buck James' weight program, which he said immediately, that's something we have to put in. You can see the difference. We were blowing guys off the ball on both sides of the ball. When we tackled, it was an immediate tackle. We just look different than Conway teams have passed. And we've had some really good teams here, and it's some really good coaches. But this is the strongest, most dominant looking team that I've seen in recent history. They are an impressive bunch on the field.
For most people, I think when they watch a football game, unless they are just a dyed-in-the-wool football strategic fan, or you've got a friend or a child on the line, you tend to watch the ball. For tonight's game, watch the line. Watch the line of scrimmage on both sides, not only for the job that our guys are doing, but also for a guy that's going to be wearing the Marion colors tonight. Let's talk about this LSU commit.
Oh man, Carius Kern, he's a big dude, and it's been hard to find some film on them from this year. We were able to watch the win game. And what I noted, and you're right, Jeff. I was like not even watching where the ball was going. I was just watching him because, and I'll tell you what, a lot of times he got out of the frame of the shot because he was taking his guy and just pushing him about 15 yards downfield out of the shot. You just couldn't even see him anymore. It's impressive. I mean, he appears to be everything that people are saying he is. And what I love about that is man, our defensive line, they're gonna have a real test tonight, and I feel like they're all probably gonna get a shot at it, and that's exciting because it's like, hey, strength meets strength. Let's see what we're doing. Let's see how good you guys have gotten over the last year of strength development. We're really gonna find that out when whoever lines up on that side.
Yeah, see my previous comments for notes there. We get a chance to go up against a very imposing individual, and he not only does he run block well, he pass blocks well as well. And they've got a fantastic runner, Jalen Smith. Two-time, he's a senior this year. He's already a two-time All-State running back. He can really fly, and if he gets in space, and a lot of times they do, they run off his backside. And so we're going to have to, just like we did last week with Ficklin, we're going to have to contain the outside edge. He'll look to bounce for daylight, and a lot of it's going to go around that guy right there.
Now, will we see him on the defensive side of the ball, or is he going to be primarily playing offense?
I haven't seen him, Levi. He probably will if they have some injuries or something steps in the way. But I'm gonna tell you this: I'd put him out there. I wouldn't take him off the field.
So let's talk about Marion, just kind of the 30,000-foot view, since it's a new opponent for all of us. I've been doing this is my 24th season to be around, and I don't remember Marion ever being on the schedule. And maybe old timers know it better than me. But have we played them before? What do we know about the history?
Yeah, we talked to a couple guys this week, of course. David, I'm blanking on his last name. I don't know why.
David
Grimes.
Grimes.
Grimes, yeah, we talked to David, and he's like, "Let me look just real quick. I'll be right back with you." And about 5 minutes later, he came back. He's like, "I don't think we've ever played him," and I
Yeah,
was like, "I don't
well, he
think
would
we ever
know.
have either." Yeah, so I mean, it feels like history tonight, which is exciting. And I think about just for them, they're one of the top 5 programs in 6A. They've been on the ascent, and they found some success with this coach they've had. I think it's like his 3rd or 4th year there, and I think it's really exciting. I try to think from their perspective, like what this is for them. This is coming to one of the top programs in the state and getting a lot of eyes on your team, and so it's got to be an exciting time for them. And if I'm being honest, I feel like physically and in terms of speed might be a little bit more of a test for us this week than even what we saw a week ago, which feels kind of weird to say, but I think it might be true.
I 100% agree with that. What you'll see from them on both sides of the ball are big athletes, and they are fast, fast, fast. They will fly to the ball. That's why I'm hoping that on offense we can do some misdirection and get that speed out of the way. But they're going to be flying to the ball, and they're going to make tackles. They're very athletic.
All right, guys, thanks. Tonight, kickoff is set for 7 o'clock. We'll have the pregame show for you at 6:30, Conway Corp Channel 5, and online at conwaycorp.com/WC2Go.